feel like property management is eating into your profits and you're seeing extra fees on your monthly statements above and beyond your manager's commission?
Additional occupancy fee, resort fee, share fee?
The unfortunate reality is that many owners are overpaying for property manager fees. So in today's video, we're going to go over what fees you might question or potentially negotiate on.
We'll also be going over what fees do make sense for quality property management for your short-term rental.
We're coming at this topic from two different perspectives because on the one hand, we own and manage our own properties, both short-term, mid-term, long-term, and a wedding venue.
But on the flip side, we also have a full-service property management company where we are managing short-term and mid-term rental properties for clients.
So as we go through this today, we're going to also share how our management company handles all of these topics as well.
Not because we think that there is only one best way to run a property management company, but just because this is what we have experience in and it's part of our daily lives.
With all that said, go ahead and click that like button and let's get started.
We're going to start off with those fees that you should not be paying, or at least ones that you should be questioning.
It's easy to read through your monthly statement and see a long list of charges and assume they're all kind of industry standard. But the reality here is that not all of them are, and not all of them are necessary.
Exactly. And so while some of these fees might be common in our industry, it doesn't mean that they're adding any value and they're taking away from your bottom line.
And remember, we're not saying that the fees we're going to talk about are never justified. We're just pointing these out as something you should consider for yourself and whether they're adding value to your property.
When we first started our property management business, one of our core values was transparency.
We investigated the competition, and one of the themes that we saw was a low advertised commission rate, but many add-on fees after that.
They punked us. They punked us good. Come on.
That never sat right with us, so we made a point to structure our business differently without those extra fees.
And one of those fees we've decided not to charge our clients is a restocking fee.
Restocking fees are pretty common in the short-term rental property management industry for things like toilet paper, paper towels, dish soaps, all the things that the guests are going to be using in the property.
Some managers are going to charge you for the cost of these supplies, or they're going to charge you a labor charge for actually buying and restocking them. But what we've decided is that we think it's better to just not charge for them at all.
If you are a property manager watching this, you might think that we are leaving money on the table by not charging for these supplies or a restocking fee for the labor, but there are a few reasons why we choose to structure it this way.
The first is that we can distribute all the supplies across multiple properties and not try and worry about the accounting of which pack of toilet paper went to which property.
Second, we don't have to take the time to invoice our clients for every supply run that we do.
Third is that we can buy in bulk and try and save as much money as possible.
And fourth is that we can deduct the amount of all of those supplies from our taxes each year.
We also don't charge any labor fee for the time it takes us to shop or source those supplies. We just kind of think it's part of our normal property management duties.
Next up is maintenance fees, and this is a big one.
Of course, we all know that regular maintenance is a big part of any rental property, but the question here is, are you being charged fairly for that maintenance?
Some managers will charge a monthly or quarterly recurring maintenance fee, or they will add a markup to the total amount being billed for an individual maintenance task. And we've heard from clients who have been in this situation with previous managers, and if you're not paying attention to these costs, they can skyrocket.
Doesn't add up.
We handle things differently. We do any kind of quick fix that just takes a few minutes or basic tools. We won't charge for that. And then anything bigger, we're billing at actual cost, no markups.
We can do this because when we set our property management commission, we're setting it at a rate where we feel like we're being fairly compensated. It's usually when a manager is charging a low commission rate that they feel like anything above and beyond, they're not being already compensated for and they need to charge an extra fee.
So if you're seeing high maintenance fees on your statements, it's worth asking your property manager how they handle it, whether they add markups, or if you're in doubt for a big ticket thing, you could get your own quote and see how it compares to your property managers.
Next, we want you to take a look at if you're being charged and what you're being charged for a guest cleaning fee.
Cleaning fees are usually directly passed to the guests at a short-term rental, and historically this is something that guests are used to seeing and paying for a cleaning fee for a short-term stay.
But for some properties, especially when you have longer term guests or just in certain markets, it may make more sense to absorb that cleaning fee into the nightly rate.
This strategy works especially well if you want to simplify your pricing and make your property more appealing. Just like you as an owner don't like to see a long list of fees on your statement, a guest doesn't like to see a long list of fees added to their nightly rates.
We've seen success with both strategies, and it comes down to you or your property manager knowing what's best for your market and your property.
Setting up your listing to charge a line item fee for cleaning could be okay for your property. The way you should structure it though is that it's kind of a pass-through cost. Direct cost charged to guests is the direct cost that you're paying for your cleaner.
Basically, you want to make sure that that cleaning fee is a pass-through to the guests and it's not being deducted from your net income unless you're the one using the property and they're paying to have it cleaned after your stay.
Next, let's talk about reservation processing fees. This is something we've seen before, but in our opinion, it's not something you should ever see on your owner statement.
Reservation processing usually refers to handling bookings, guest communication, but we think these things are core parts of what a property manager should already be doing.
Trying to charge owners an additional fee for this service is just unnecessary and part of the property management job.
One last fee that some managers charge is a retainer or a base payment, and this is a recurring monthly fee that is charged by the manager regardless of what bookings come in.
This is something that we've considered ourselves. We operate mostly in a seasonal market, and even when it's hot and lower demand time of year, we're still maintaining properties and ensuring they're in good shape.
On the flip side, some might argue that that is our job, to be filling the house even when it's slow season. If it's 120 degrees outside and your property is sitting vacant for a month, an owner isn't going to want to pay a retainer fee on top of that.
I'm not paying for that.
This is why we've chosen so far not to implement a retainer fee like this. We think that our commission should be earned based on the performance of the property, but we understand where other managers might be coming from when they want to charge this fee, especially in a seasonal market. This is something maybe in the future we could change our minds on.
If your manager is charging a retainer or a base payment, it's important to understand exactly what services are being offered, especially when the property is vacant.
Now that we've gone through fees that you should carefully consider or might question, let's switch gears and go through fees that you should be paying for quality property management service.
One fee that's always going to be a part of the equation is the property management commission. This is the core payment that covers everything that your property manager is doing to service your property.
In our management company, we charge commission that's based upon the gross earnings of the property. And with that comes full service property management for everything from marketing, guest interaction, to coordinating maintenance and repairs.
You may also see some situation-based fees in your property management contract. For example, a breakup fee for terminating your contract before a given date is common.
Another fee you might see in your property management contract is an interruption of services fee. Let's just say you somehow missed your water bill or electric bill and your services got cut off and your property manager is left to try and remedy that situation. They're going to charge a fee for that, and in our minds, rightfully so.
Did you forget to pay the heating bill? It's freezing in here.
So while it's important to question unnecessary fees, there are some fees that are just going to be part of the game when it comes to property management for your rental property. You just want to make sure that those fees are justified.
That, and you also want to carefully consider those fees to make sure you have a business case about hiring a property manager and running your property as an investment property to generate some income, hopefully.
We've turned down a few people this year as clients after learning their carrying costs. They bought high, their interest rates are high, and knowing the quality of their house, comparable houses, and the market that it's in, it just didn't make sense after taking out our property management commission.
In those circumstances, we've recommended they consider self-managing or a co-host that's kind of sharing of responsibilities to reduce that management fee burden.
So to wrap all of this up, if you are looking for a property manager or you already have a property manager, make sure that you are taking an extra close look at that contract, especially those add-on fees, to make sure that they are reasonable and transparent.
And remember, if you're going through this and don't think something is reasonable or you don't understand it, don't be afraid to ask questions to make sure you get the right answers.
If you have any questions about this topic, feel free to drop them below, and we will leave another video here on screen that we think you'll want to watch next.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.